Wilder had first become WBC Heavyweight Champion in January 2015, after he defeated Bermane Stiverne via 12-round unanimous decision at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Wilder then saw off a host of challengers that included Eric Molina, Johan Duhaupas, and Artur Szpilka. A hand injury then kept Wilder out until February 2017 when he fought fellow undefeated American Gerald Washington, knocking him out in the 5th round. Meanwhile, the relatively unknown but well-schooled and dangerous Ortiz had so far been unable to secure a title shot despite his high rankings. He had previously knocked out contenders Bryant Jennings and Tony Thompson before a short-term deal in November 2016 saw him fight twice in 2 months in Europe for the first time, first facing Malik Scott in Monaco and then the highly durable Dave Allen in Manchester, and stopped him on his feet after 7 one-sided rounds. On February 27, 2017, the WBC ordered Wilder to fight mandatory challenger Bermane Stiverne. Wilder faced Stiverne, knocking him down 3 times on the way to delivering a sensational first-round knockout. This meant Wilder had now stopped every opponent he had faced. Negotiations for the fight with Ortiz began, and terms had been agreed for the fight to take place on March 3, 2018 at the Barclays Center in New York. The contest would be 32-year-old Wilder's 7th defense of his crown and the 38-year-old Ortiz's first shot at a world title. Both fighters went into the fight unbeaten as professionals, and both were also widely regarded to be the toughest opponent of each fighter's career thus far.
Here in 2018. Look at the front feet as well, because they are trying to step on the foot of Wilder for Luis Ortiz, years of age. By Luis Ortiz. And Ortiz looked at us stepping in. Wilder hasn't been throwing the jab out, trying to step on the foot of Wilder. Big straight left hand.
The fight had a fairly cagey start as both men tried to work behind their jab, with the more active and aggressive Ortiz getting the better of the first 4 rounds.
Ortiz, and now Wilder goes back on defense. Jab partially blocked in Luis Ortiz. A straight left. Wilder significantly. It has in the past. Big right hand there, and that's for Wilder, and that ends. Wilder is, and look at Wilder with some theatrics. Wilder threw up his blemish to Luis Ortiz, or any, even a half mistake. A straight left down is the score.
Wilder basically threw away the early rounds with a lack of aggression and much clowning.
And for Wilder, as we get towards the middle rounds, and Wilder pounds.
The left-handed Ortiz was all business.
And a big straight left hand there. A big straight. Who knows what can happen? Straight left. Another big straight left hand. That's the end of the 4th round of left hook because of the kind of destructive Deontay Wilder looking to make his 7th successful title defense. Big right hand by Wilder. Wilder and successful.
The fight took a twist at the end of the 5th round as Wilder landed a powerful right hand on Ortiz's forehead that sent Ortiz backwards into the ropes and onto the floor.
A big straight right hand. It wobbles Ortiz, and down goes Luis Ortiz for the first time in the fight. Hit the canvas, and that's the end of the 5th. 7% knockout percentage for Wilder. Stepping inside. A big right hand. It wobbled Ortiz, and Ortiz now. But he may have been off balance enough. As we mentioned, he's undefeated and making his 7th successful. Wilder looking for his opening. To him to please raise your hands. Do not get caught. A left hook there, and another left hook by Wilder. And they both are swinging for the fence, as he did in the first couple of rounds. A sign that he's tired. Straight right hand.
Then, in the 7th, Wilder appeared out on his feet, but he never hit the canvas.
start to really reassert yourself.
Instead, he closed the 9th with 2 hard rights, and then a series of vicious combinations in the 10th started Ortiz's downfall.
A big right hand, and it hurt Ortiz! Changed things completely. And
Wilder unleashed a barrage of punches in a slightly wild and unorthodox yet ruthless and clinical fashion. Ortiz stood his ground until a heavy right hand pierced his guard and wobbled him before a second sent him down to the canvas on his knees.
He would hit me with furious of punches, but it wasn't hard, you know. It wasn't, you know, and just had to get my range back. Fundamentals back, and I did that. You know, I showed that I was a true champion tonight, and here I am.
And still, the undefeated WBC Heavyweight Champion of the world, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder.